What is Isagi going to do in the 14 days of training given to him by Ego? Where is he going with the plane ticket he was sent? What training is he going to do? In this video we will talk about that. So let's first see what happened in chapter 304. While Isagi was having dinner with his family, he received a package sent from Bulwark. The items in it were a bunch of recorded games, a letter with instructions from Ego himself, and a plane ticket. Ego's words to Isagi in the letter were about him learning soccer, and by doing that he would discover his next evolution. When I saw the plane ticket, I was wondering if all 23 players will receive a plane ticket or if it is only for Isagi. Now we know the answer to that question. In the last chapter we saw what everyone's letters were, and only Isagi received a plane ticket. It is no secret that Ego's favorite in Bulwark might be Isagi. When Reo asked Ego to rewatch the match between Barca, Ego told him to shut up. But when Isagi asked him why Nagi got eliminated, he told him everything about Nagi's elimination. In a calm manner, no word was said to Isagi. The reason for that might be because Ego sees his early self in Isagi. It might not be confirmed yet, but it seems like Ego is a talented learner and his rival back in the day was Noah. We saw interactions between them and they don't really like each other. Or it must be because they were rivals in the past. The same thing is happening right now with Rin, who is a genius, and Isagi, who is a talented learner. Ego gave only Isagi a plane ticket, so the question is, where is that ticket for? Which country did he choose for Isagi to go? There are two possible ways for this to go. It was either Germany or Spain. Let's first talk about Isagi going to Germany and what that could mean for his development. By playing for Bastard in the NEL and then giving him the final offer for him to join them after the Under 20 World Cup, it is an easy choice for Ego to send him there. That way he will learn more things there and will get even more familiar with Germany's philosophy. There are familiar faces he could link up and train with them. Kaiser and Ness are still there, but they don't really like Isagi. But their coach can tell them that by training with Isagi, they will evolve too. That way, they will be more likely to accept. In chapter 153, Ego explained to all the Bulwark players that Germany is a country whose philosophy is that soccer is a game won by scoring more goals in the game, and it is quite focused on rationality. We know that Kaiser got an offer from Real, but Ness is staying with Bastard, so that could be a reason for Isagi going there. That way, he is going to get more familiar with Ness, and after the Under 20 World Cup, they can understand each other better and they can create more crazy combinations like the last goal in the NEL. But if Ego thinks that Isagi has to develop his creativity and technique, then the better choice for that is Spain. Spain was explained by Ego to be the country of technique and creativity, where ordinary goals don't satisfy the citizens of Spain. In there, Isagi can meet up with one of the World 5, Leonardo Luna. We saw how much better he was than Bachira in the World 5 game. He can be the perfect teacher for Isagi if Ego wants to teach him technique and creativity. Or perhaps he can meet up with Hitoshi Sai. We know that he recognized Isagi as Bulwark says in the Under 20 match. That can be a really interesting link up. We have not seen Sai in the manga since forever. It's been that long. We can see a similar talented learner and talented learner combination like we saw with Isagi and Kaiser. It is not confirmed that Sai is a talented learner. It is just a theory, but I believe it is more likely that he is a talented learner than a genius, and it can be more interesting for a future team up between him and Rin. Now for the possible Sai and Isagi interaction. With Sai being older and more experienced, he can teach Isagi things that only talented learners can know. How to stop geniuses the right way in a 1v1 and not with the help of two players. He can also help Isagi develop more of his ego and things like that. Out of the two options I listed, I think the third one is the most likely to happen, and the third option is for Isagi to go and train with Barca. They are familiar with his playstyle because they watched him throughout the whole NEL arc. We know that if Barca did not have any Bulwark players, they would have been even more shit than they were in the NEL. But why was Spain's team one of the worst teams in the NEL? I believe that we will see the Spanish new Gen 11 player, and he will be in Barca. He likely missed the NEL arc either because he was not interested in it, or he he just had a small injury. But now that he's recovered, he will be able to play in the Under 20 World Cup, and that way we will see a potential new rival for the new arc. It is quite common in sports anime to first introduce a powerful team, but when we see them in a game, we are left asking ourselves what is that special about them. And when we see them for the second time in the story, we find out that there was a missing player who is the best player on that team, and then they start dominating everyone. But if none of the three options happen, then there is one last one I could think of, and that one is a classic one too. Ego can send Isagi to train under his former coach. That way, Isagi can learn more about Ego's philosophy and his style back in his active days. And we can see Ego's past, his playstyle, his techniques, and maybe how he came up with the idea of creating Bullock. We can also learn more about his rivalry with Noah. That coach can see Isagi's weaknesses and help him improve them way more effectively than Ego ever could. With the last chapter, we were able to see how everyone is training for the Under 20 World Cup. Ego gave each player their own training, and I'm hyped to see how everyone comes back after these 14 days. If he really intends to win the Under 20 World Cup, then he has to walk in on the training of the remaining players. We know that the new Gen 11 will all be playing in the World Cup. There will be a lot harder opponents we don't know yet, and the ones we know might be the final bosses too. I'm talking about Kaiser and Ness. They too have 50 days to train and to figure out their new combinations. But the duo that seems unbeatable is Woki and Charles. That matchup will likely be the hardest for Japan to overcome. I am excited to see what the Under 20 World Cup arc will be. Tell me your predictions for what Isagi is going to do in those 14 days of training. Thanks for watching, see ya!